CarolJo's. It is an online jewelry and accessory business for women. I am going to give a moment for YouTube and TikTok to let everybody know that I am live. I will also be bringing back, or I'll be bringing up my backup account of TikTok here in a moment. I just got to get one thing. Okay. And then I'll bring it up after I get this going. Hi, everybody. If you are joining, if you can give a thumbs up on YouTube or likes and shares on TikTok. Hi, Rosie. That will let more come in. So what we've got going on Carol Jo's, we do different things. Twice a week we do chats. Tonight at 8 p.m. we will have a chat. We also do tutorials twice a week, and this is our second tutorial of the week. I'll show you what we're going to do. It's been a surprise. And then we also do sales throughout the week. We have a bead sale, a bring back sale, and a cabochon and silicone sale. So we still have 4 more to go throughout the week. So we've got that. But I'm excited about today. So I went into this week and I just posted this one for the week as a surprise. It will be a silicone style, but it was going to be a surprise. The reason why I left it as a surprise is that we have so much going on this week. I didn't know what exactly I was going to be doing. But I wanted to use 12 millimeter size silicone beads in whatever I did. And I had one idea, but I would also have to get all of the lentils together too. And I was just like, yesterday, Ashley here on TikTok sent me a video from Madison McCade, is how I hope you pronounce it, Madade. And I might be pronouncing it wrong, where she was doing a tutorial using 12 millimeter size beads. The thing is that Ashley didn't know what I wanted to do. So it was just a total fluke that she sent me the video. So what it is, I'm going to show you. It is making the bows with the keychain. We're going to make a keychain bow. And I have 2 different examples here. The reason why I have 2 different examples is because this one has 7 12 millimeter size beads for each of the bow part, whereas this one has 8. So I want you to see there is a little bit of difference, and I wanted to make 2 so you could see the difference. The reason why I wanted to show you both of them is that in Madison's directions, she says to use 22 12 millimeter size beads and 1 15 millimeter size bead. If you did that, you would have to buy 3 bags of beads from me because I sell them in packages of 10, and then you would have 8. Yes, maybe you could make something else out with it, but if it's something that you just wanted to make 1, if you did 7, it ends up being that you use 20 beads, which would be 2 packs. So that is why I wanted to show you both of them, is because yes, you can do this. Hi, Murda, with the 8 on each bow or 7 on each bow. And to me, they both look fine. And I am going to be doing the 8 one in our example, but hi Robin, I will explain how to use it using just a total of 20 instead of 22. All right. But I just want to give credit that this is not my idea. This was Madison, and her last name, excuse me, is McDade. So McDade, I believe is how you pronounce it. She is here on TikTok and she does tutorials. So this is not my style, not my idea. She took and went with it. I know others have used it, but I haven't looked at how they create it, and maybe they're similar. So, but I just want y'all to know this one was not my plan, but I am using their thoughts on it and how to make it. Okay? So, what you're going to need, if you look at the examples here, you're going to need either 20 or 22 of the 12 millimeter size bead. You'll need 1 15 millimeter size bead. You will need a swivel keychain lobster clasp, and you will need, I'm using 1.5 millimeter cord for this project, that's what you're going to need for supplies. And if you notice here, I do have a keychain on the swivel. There is the split ring. You can do this with and without the split ring. That is your choice. For the tools that you're going to need, this one is very, very few tools. You're going to need a pair of scissors. Thanks to someone here on TikTok who sent me these. I now have new scissors, everybody. Hi, Ashley. And you need scissors to cut your cord. You will also need a butane torch or a lighter. I prefer butane torch. And the loop turner. Hi, Val. How are you? So that is what you need for tools. I am going to bring up my backup account now because I am going to point this down so that you guys can see what I am doing, okay? So here we go. Hold on. Buttercup was messing around with my phone holder here that I use for YouTube, and she had it put back wrong. So I needed to take the phone out of the holder for a moment. Sorry, so that I can actually point you guys down. There we go. She flipped you around. All right, here we go. We're going to put down here. If on TikTok we get to 10,000 likes, and we've already got our shares, then we will start doing giveaways. So once again, thanks to Ashley yesterday sending this to me. We're making the bows today. I'm going to set these two off to the side. I have two 15mm beads here. There is a reason why. I am going to use green. The color of this one is called Wacky Clover. But when I saw Wacky Clover up against the red, I thought Christmas and a Christmas bow. Okay. Hi, Mia. And then if Wacky Clover, because to me clovers, you know, are St. Patrick's Day. Whoop, I have a bead that's trying to take off on me. I thought yellow for St. Patrick's Day. So, I mean, this one is the center 15mm bead. Could go either way with both of these colors for two different holidays if you wanted to make the bow for a holiday theme. So, we got to decide here. You guys help me decide. Hi, Rainbow. Let me know. Do you want one for yellow or two for red? Can you guys put one or two in the chat so we can know which color we're going to go with? I don't have a preference. I really don't. I just grab both of them going, I don't know which one I want to go with. Okay, everybody's saying two. So we're going to go with two, which is the red. All right. On your loop turner, we are going to put 8 12mm size beads. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there is 8. And then we're going to put our one 15mm size bead on there. That is what we'll have on our loop turner to begin with. I'm going to move my pile of green beads up. I am going to use white 1.5mm size cord. It's a nylon cord. You can measure out at around 30 inches. I just go from the end of my hand to the middle of my chest, and then I cut it off. That is all I do here. I don't measure it. I'm not good at that. Now we're going to take one end of our cord. We are going to put it in that hook on our loop turner. Close up that little latch here. Turn it upside down. On the outside of our beads, place your fingers like that and push the beads onto the cord. I'm going to push them down. I'm going to go this way. Now we're going to we are going to make a bow with silicone beads. We have two different examples. We're going to take our swivel clasps, and you see how the D part where the swivel is at? We're going to thread our cord through that. Yep, you got it there, Rainbow. Then we're going to add on our closure, our clasp, get our loop turner. We are going to add 8 12mm size beads to our loop turner. 5, 6, 7, 8. We have some that want to go off of our... Now we're going to take on the side that has our closure and that 15mm, this side of the cord is where we're going to add these 8. Pull that through. We are going to put all of those towards the middle of our cord. And it just looks like a long row, and it doesn't look like the bow. Hi, Lori. You're going to bring this around up to the top, and I want to bring my cord back through this way. Now to do that, you take it and put it on the opposite way that you want to go and push it through your loop turner. Put the end of that cord into that little hook, close it up and pull it through. Now we're going to do the same thing on our other side here. We're going to go this way through because we want this to pull through that way. So we're going to put our loop turner through the center 15mm size bead. We are going to put it on the loop turner's little hook here, if that will open up. Hold on, there we go. We're going to close that hook up, and we're going to bring this through. I'm doing it backwards. I got to do it this way. We're doing it backwards for the right-handed person. You're going to go underneath there. So there we go. Now I can do this. You might have to flip it around just so that you can go with your hand, whichever dominant hand you are. Now, here's the top, because that is where my closure is at. But if you see here, you guys can see I got some extra space. You can see the white in here. We want to pull this tight and keep pulling it tight on both sides until you get rid of all that white cord that you see in between all the beads, including that 15mm. So just pull it tight. And I literally just keep pulling on it. There we go. Now we have the top of our bow. I want to just secure this so that as I'm making it, I don't lose my tightness that I've put into it. To do that, you take the end of your cord, go through, like if this is your bottom, go up into there, into the center, and you're going to create a little loop over here, and we're going to bring that loop a little bit smaller. Now you see how he's over? I want to bring him down, and I want my loop, sometimes you have to move these beads just a little bit to get it in there, so that it is between the 15mm and that first 12mm. Take your end and go through the loop. You're just creating a knot, but you want that knot right next to that 15mm size bead. We're going to bring that in there. We are going to pull on this really tight and get that cinched in. We're going to do, and you can see the knot still. We're going to get rid of that in just a minute, but you will see a knot. We are going to do that same technique on the other side. So go down below, come up the center. You will have a little loop that you want to put your end through, but he is not next to that 15mm, so we're going to get him down there. There we go. Guide him to it and then pull it tight. All right. So now you've got 2 knots, your cords are down, and I want to add beads here to make this, the little dangles here. To do that and to hide your knots, what you're going to do is this bead, I'm going through it the way towards the center of this so that I can then pull my cord through. So we're going to push that through. You see how I went through that one? We're going to grab the end of our cord and pull this through. There we go. The reason why you want to pull it at the end of your cord when you're putting that into your loop turner, I'll explain in just a second. Here we're going to do the other side. Go towards the center. At the end, put that cord in, guide it to that center, and then pull. Whoop, I don't want to create another knot, so pull it through. And then pull on that, and that will hide your knot. Now you see your knot is hidden inside of these beads here. And these will just dangle down. The reason why when you have the long cord and you want to put your loop turner on here and you put it down and just have a little bit down here, is if your loop turner gets caught on the cord, it will fray it. I don't want it to be frayed in my work area, so do it at the ends, and that puts the fray down there. Hello, Geraldine. And guess what? Thank you. We're using them today. Now we're going to, of all things, this last part is the hardest part for me to do of this. I'm going to put my 3 beads on. These are 3 12mm size beads. Put them on your loop turner and then push them onto your project. The reason why this is the hardest part, I want to keep this really tight, but I also need to create a knot. And holding everything and getting your knot in the right spot has been hard. So I created, I'm going to show you what I did here because I didn't explain it. I just started going. Yep. So here is, I'm holding these, but I want to use my finger. My finger is going to create my loop. I'm going to pull it off of my finger. I'm still holding this with my fingers to keep it so it's tight. Come up through the middle and come up through the middle to make like a double knot. I want to get that knot all the way down while these beads are still tight. And if you let it go early like I did, you might have a little space and it's not going to be tight. I have been using my awl or my bead reamer, because I don't have an awl, to hold this down against my beads. But see, I have a little bit of white here, so I don't want it to be there. I got to move this down. This is the part, is that you can move this, and sometimes you will not get it in the right spot because you will let it go just a little bit, and it will move. And I'm trying to get this down. And if anybody else has an easier way to get this knot right at the right spot, please share in the chat. All right. I'm going to undo my knot for a second because I want it to go down. It's too far down. So I'm going to retry again. So don't get it really, really, really tight until you're right where you want to be. And this has literally been the hardest part of this entire project, is getting that last knot to where I want it to go and keeping everything tight. Okay, there's tight. I need this down here. Do a little bit. There we go. Need to move this out of the way, and then let's see if I got it. Well, not perfect. See how I got that white up there? I don't like it. I did figure out, everybody, that I can sometimes untie this. Yeah, I can get this one untied. So I'm going to untie it again and try again. Okay, I got those pushed up. See how there's no white there? Get that in there. Do that again. But I need to move these. There we go. Get that right there. Hold that. Let's see if I can get this. I still got white. Hi. But he's tight, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him undone. It took me multiple times, everybody, to do this. Oh, I got it, I think. Let me see. Maybe. I have never had, and I don't know if it's because when she says to double knot it the way she does, I'm going to try something else here, everybody, because I was following her directions. When I have done this with a knot at the end, I just double knot it, meaning I go in and do this. Let me see if this will be easier. I'm going to hold this, do one knot. Whoop, I didn't get it held down completely there yet. But let me hold that down. There. Okay, I got one knot. The reason why you don't want to do one knot here, oh, I think this is going to work. Is I do like this. I do one knot over the top, not double knotting it. Yay! It works beautiful to do knots. That worked way better for me. Ha ha. I'm going to try that on the other side, okay? I'll explain what I did. We're going to take, hi Maria, our 3 12mm size beads, put them on our loop turner, put the loop turner, we're going to do our cord at the end, and then push those 3 beads on. Bring it down nice and tight, loop it to create a knot, just like you would. I will use the awl even in this one, but it's not as big, so I can get my awl and I can control it better with my awl and getting this all nice and tight. Okay. There we go. Let's get that down there. There we go. Whoops. I pulled the awl out and I pulled my knot down. I've never done that before. Hey, the fun joys of doing this on a live. You're going to see some boo-boos, but then we can all learn from them. All right. There we go. Let's go down, go down. There we go. Okay, let's do our second knot and put it on top of our first one. There we go. I like doing it better that way. it is easier for me. Instead of going through that circle twice, I just did it once and just did a double knot by knotting it and then knotting over the top. Okay. Then we're going to take our scissors. We are going to cut off our excess cord. There we go. We are going to take our torch and just do the ends. There we go. And there's our bow in Christmas colors. And you can just put it on a bag. You can put your keychain on it. You get to decide what to do. I'm going to bring you guys up. Hi, Jordan. There we go. So there it is. And I actually do like it with the white with the little balls there. So I just want to show you, this one is 7. So we have 7 12mm beads, and this one is 8. So you can see that they are a little bit bigger because you have that one. But the thing is that depending on what you want to buy, if you wanted to do it this way and just have it, you would buy 3 bags of the 10mm or the 3 bags of 10 beads in a bag of the 12mm, or you can just buy 2 and do it this way. I didn't make any with like mixes of beads. I just did them as solids. I don't know, because that's just what I did. Have you guys made those before? I have to ask, because my question is do we want to mix? Because I don't have my 12mm like bags up here. Never. But I have my extras when we make them. And I was going to see if we had enough to do some sort of a mix type thing. You're a different color. So I don't know how this is going to work. So we're going to see. I don't know if this will work. We're going to play because we have a little bit of time. So I thought we could play for a little bit. Let's see what other color we have in here. I'm going to point you guys down. Yeah, we are. Thank you, JR. All right. So we have a big bag of 12mm. And I'm just thinking, okay, if we go like this, do we have another one of these to put up here? Is that the same color? Yep. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the bow. Got 2 of those. I need no more colors here. Let's see, what do we have for these colors? Got 2 of those and 2 of those. Well, come here. That's that one. Do we have any more orange? Nope. Or the corally color. We have these. That's not the same. It's like you need 4 to make it, unless we would just do to make the bow. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to darker purple. Okay. The darker purple. Okay, that worked. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not the right one. Nope. Okay, these 3 are the same. Come back here. These 2 are not the same. That's our problem. I need 4 of each color. Unless we do it differently and we go there, there, get you out of there. And then we can go there, there, these 2, then these 2. Then we have those 2. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 1 more. Do I have another one of those? No. No, I don't want that. Holy, this is hard. Oh, I know what I could do. Let's do you 3 down here. Let's pick. There we go. Okay. Got that. Now I just need 1 for down here. Let's put. Okay. Got it. We're going to try it. We don't know what it's going to look like when it's done, but we got it. I just need to find a center color. I'm going to put away all these other 12 millimeters. Yes, I do not have a bag. I don't have them all organized perfectly, my silicones. Any extra silicones, like when I make our packages, sometimes I won't have a package that I will have. I'm supposed to have 100 in it, and it might have 98. So I have 8 extra of it. Or sometimes it will have 105, and then I have 5 extra. And I just throw them all in a bag, all the extras. That's literally what I do. Now I got to figure out what my 15 millimeter size bead is going to be. And I also was thinking about, could we use a octagon in the center? Should we try it with an octagon and just see what it looks like? And then do we want the dark purple, or do we want a marbly purple? Ooh, I think we want that one. Okay, this is just trial and error, everybody. All right. So we're going to put our 8 12 millimeters on one. And then the octagon. Okay, you guys are going to laugh because I have to think this through. That one's going to be the last, so then we got to go this way. I'm grabbing different loop turners for everything so that we can get our plan in action. Okay, so that'll be for our bow, the circle part. Got to get more loop turners out. Yes, I do have a lot of loop turners, everybody. And I'm going to put the 3 bottom ones on their own loop turners and set them to the side. I just didn't want them on my mat and I mess them up. Okay. We're going to use the white 1.5. And we're going to cut off that much. There we go. we are going to put these on the loop turner, off the loop turner onto the cord. Okay, where our marble octagon is at, we're going to take the swivel part of our closure, put it through and put that up against that. Then we're going to take our other loop turner that has all of our colors on it in the order that we want it to go in, on there. All right, there we go. Now we're going to bring this through. This way. Now we're going to go this way. And bring this one through. Remember, this is backwards for me, but I'm wanting to, I think, keep it this way because I want to make sure that in the big scheme of things that my lighter purple stays on the bottom. Oh, shnikey butts. Janet, they are $1.50 each. And I have both sizes here. I have, this is the 10.5 inch that I have right here that I'm using. And there's also a 7-inch size. And I have both available. So if you just want me to add it to an invoice for you, I sure can. I just need you to let me know what sizes you want of each. All right. Come on, get tight now. We're going to pull these tight. There it is. It's turning out. I got it to stay. See, this is what I wanted to make sure, and why I was really wanting is I wanted it to be the same pattern as we went around. This is really weird. This is a really light purple, but it's almost showing up as like a grayish color on there, but it is that light purple. It's like lavender haze. Then we have the peaches purple. We have the coral crush. So like this one is the grape, and I think these are the grape pop. So both, please. Okay, I'll put one of each size in your basket on your invoice then. Go through the center. I'm bringing that one through these two beads here so that it can be between our octagon and the 12 millimeter. And I'm going to pull that through and make a knot and pull it tight. All right, we're going to do the same thing on this side. Going to bring in that down there through the loop. Bring it between these two beads and then put the tail through that loop so that we can create a knot. There we go. Now I'm going to take on each side, this one, I'm going to go through that bead so I can hide my knot and then create my dangle down of my bow. Whoops, I dropped it. This is why sometimes you have to hold on to your cord as you are going towards your, I just hold on to it sometimes, and sometimes I let it go. If I let it go, sometimes it'll fall out of my loop turner. Bring that through. You see how we see that knot? We're going to pull on it, and now our knot is inside that bead. We're going to do this exact same thing on this side. We're going to go back through towards the middle. Put that on. Guide that to that bead. And then pull that one through too. And we hit our knots. All right, I'm going to get these two loop turners out of my way. We're going to grab one at the end, put our cord in there. Put that down. And I don't like, now that it's together, do you guys see why I don't like this? We've got too much of the same light colors together. So I'm going to change up that pattern a little bit. I'm going to go with the medium purple, or the dark purple at the bottom, the peachy color, and then the medium purple. So I'm changing up the pattern because of how it looked. Let's see. I like that better. That is a lot better. Now hold those tight, create a knot. If you need to use like the awl or your bead reamer or something to help you get this knot to be down where it needs to be, you sure can. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to push these beads down. Get that in there. Pull that down. There we go. Pull that out and then make that knot tight. Let's do that again. And put a second knot at the bottom of that one, right on top of it. There we go. Friday at 2 o'clock, or Friday at 11 a.m. Sorry, 11 a.m. The 12 millimeters, all colors of 12 millimeters will be on sale on Friday at 11 a.m. Okay, I redid my pattern because I needed to. I'm going to put these on the cord. Pull that down. Get rid of that loop turner. Get that straight. Pull it tight. Okay. And get those up there. Get those tight up there. Let's grab our reamer or owl, whatever you're going to use. Get that down there so it's almost on top. Pull this out. Maybe. And then pull this up and pull it tight. And then do it again. I'm going to have, I will tell you in just a second here, as soon as I finish this, everything we're going to have on Friday's sale, okay? We're double knotting it. There we go. We double knotted it. I'm going to finish this up and we'll talk about Friday's silicone sale. Cut off our ends. Get rid of those two. We are going to use our flame and we're going to singe the bottom so that they stay together. There. It doesn't fray. There we go. And there we did one using some of our extra beads. He is so unique and cute. If you guys, I'm going to push this up so you guys can see better. All right, here we go. Hi, Linda. I do not have smaller right now than these, the 12 millimeters. I have very, very few 9. But that is what we did, everybody. We created that bow using some extra beads, rather than doing the solids like we did with this one. So what we're going to do on Friday, so tonight, I'm just going to go over our schedule. Tonight is chat, 8 p.m. Tomorrow, at 12 o'clock, I believe it is, we will have bring back sale, which is items that we've had before that we didn't sell out of our bead sales. We'll be bringing that in. So that is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, I do not have a live. And then Friday at 11 a.m. Central, we will be having our silicone sale. The silicone sale is going to include one kit that we had. I think it was for the phone grips. I can't remember off the top of my head. I found one when I was going back through things for the bring back sale, and usually bring back isn't silicone, so I'm going to bring that one in to our silicone sale. I have 2 different acrylic beads that we will have up for sale. They are the jelly colored clouds, so they are like this. We'll have those. And then there are 11 different colors of the daisy acrylics. So we're going to have those. That's just a sample of the colors. So we'll have those 2 acrylics. Then I'm going to go through all the colors that I have. This is Friday at 11 a.m., Lori. And then I'm going to go through all of the colors that we have of the 12 millimeter size beads in packages. They are 10 beads for $1.75. I have no idea how many colors we have, but we'll go through all of those. And then from there, I will go into focals for a while. I'm going to envision that this one will probably be longer than an hour, but I don't want to go longer than 2 hours. Nope, you're not. We're just about though. And you can always see the recording, Miss Rose. And so that is what we've got. My sales are only on TikTok. I don't do them on YouTube. So if you're following me here on YouTube, go over to TikTok and see that. You sure can, Miss Rose. We made the bows. A silicone 12 millimeter size bead for everything but the center one. And then this center one we did with a 15 millimeter. And then this one we used different colors to make the bow. And then we used an 14 millimeter octagon. I have to say, I think I like the octagon in there. I want to try one now with just the solid colors and put an octagon in there. I think that'll be really cute. So you can use, I think, the 14 or octagon or the 15 millimeter round. I think both will be really good with that. So that is what we made. Here is what our examples were. This is an example where we have 8 12 millimeter size beads for each loop of that bow, whereas this one is 7. You can do either one. So I just wanted to point out, you can change these up to make it something that's your own. We don't have to follow exactly what the directions were from who we got our inspiration from, which was, my goodness, I cannot think of her first name all of a sudden. It was an M name, I believe. McDade was her last name. Hold on, I will go look for it if you give me a minute, because I want to give her credit. She had posted it out there. Ashley sent me the email or the video to look at it yesterday. So this is literally, I've only made these 4 today. Everything was really super easy in the directions until we got to the bottom here and trying to get that tied from what she had. I changed it up and I just did a knot and then tied another knot over the top of it to give it that double knot. Otherwise, it was really hard for me to do it the way she did it. But her name was Madison McDade, and that's McDade for her last name. So that's who I watched her video. I don't know where she got her inspiration or if she came up with it. That I don't know, but that is where I got this so that we could do this tutorial. And what Amber didn't know, or not Amber, I'm sorry, what Ashley did not know in all of this is that I was getting the 12 millimeter beads ready for sale on Friday. And I wanted to be able to do something with them. And what I wanted to do with them, you need lentils, but I don't have the lentils ready. So what I'm going to say, everybody, is what I will do for next week's silicone tutorial. You're going to want to have the 12 millimeters and you're going to want to stock up on them. So pick some out and like build your collection. That one with what we're going to do next week, you can mix and match the colors. So even if you wanted to buy and do the 8 here, and then you'll end up having 8 left over, you can use those with what we're going to do next week. But I don't remember the exact number of 12 millimeters that you need. So what I'm going to say is stock up on colors so that when we keep having these tutorials, you guys will have them. I know our pocketbooks don't always allow for that, but I would say if you could, do that. So that's what we're going to do next week. I'm still going to leave it as a surprise because it is really cute. So that is what I had for today. Tonight we will have chat time, so come back and join me at 8 p.m. for chat time. Bring any type of comments, questions, and discussion items that you have around jewelry and small businesses so that we can have an hour-long talk. All right, everybody, I hope you all have a great afternoon, and we will see you tonight. Bye.